Yes, I think, I think we finally realised, having seen the apocalyptic predictions of what would happen if Boris didn't go beyond Plan B, when we've seen those apocalyptic predictions turn out not to be true, and not merely not true, but not remotely true, it must make us think, well, when Neil Ferguson and his modelling team in March 2020 predicted that if we didn't lock down then, 500,000 people would die, it inevitably means we have to question that. We have to look back at the previous apocalyptic scenarios produced by the modelling teams on SAGE and think which informed the policy response of the government. We have to ask ourselves now, well, were those the right decisions? Should we have locked down then? Should we have taken those projections at face value, given that the projections of what would happen if we didn't go beyond Plan B have turned out to be so catastrophically wrong?
I know, I completely agree. And what's so frustrating, Toby, is that, of course, if Boris have listened to SAGE and to Whitty and to Ferguson again, now they would be saying, oh, see, we needed to lock down. We needed to lock down. That's the way that we tackled Omicron. And in fact, no, you just need to allow sometimes the virus to have a period where it does rip through the population, where vulnerable people can be shielded, and then very quickly you see the numbers plummet.
Yeah, I mean, Dan, the kind of really scary thing about the last couple of months is that had that crucial cabinet meeting in which the SAGE modelling was interrogated and challenged by various members of the cabinet, had that gone the other way, and it felt pretty touch and go, had that gone the other way, we would have locked down over Christmas. There would have been the same response to those apocalyptic SAGE scenarios as there has been in Wales, in Northern Ireland and Scotland. And now those same scientists who made those apocalyptic predictions would be saying, thank God we locked down. And this is why we don't have the numbers in hospital, the number of deaths that were predicted in those scenarios, because people listened to the science. But actually, because enough people in cabinet stood up to those prognosticators of doom, we now know that actually nothing like that was going to happen. And we now know that, looking back, I think we have to ask ourselves, well, were they right? Just in the run-up to the first lockdown, in the run-up to the second lockdown, in the run-up to the third lockdown.
You're right.